Sure. Howard Payne was a tricky one. We were not prepared for 40 minutes of run and jump. So give our guys some credit for surviving that. We didn't prepare them for that. We weren't, it is what it is. Teams are going to run what they run. But, it wasn't definitely not something I was anticipating on the opening night. But credit to our players, man, for, finding ways to get to the rim. Not settling for long jump shots, which is what that defense is kind of designed to make you do. We took opportunities when we had them early, and then we also slowed it down when we could, but didn't run one set, didn't do anything the entire game for 40 minutes. And so interesting nonetheless, but really pleased with the outcome, of course, and the fact that I got to play a lot of people. We treated that opening night kind of like we did our two scrimmages. We wanted to play everybody if we could. And obviously the game counted. It was a little different than scrimmages. So based on, where the game was at, I wasn't sure if we could do it or not, but we were able to do that and get some valuable minutes from some guys. And then, so happy with that. But then we head on to a team like Middle Tennessee, which I told everybody, man, they were really good. They have a lot of returners. They're old. And that's how you win at this level, is being old. And you can look at our roster and say, well, we got some age too, but we're also really new. And so I look at it as we're young. And young's the wrong word. It's just inexperienced, And so we need games like that, though, to keep us kind of on our toes and to figure out, and that's how we get better. We talk to the team all the time about trusting the process. I would rather play a game like Middle Tennessee than a game like we played on Monday night, just to be honest with you, because I think we get better from that game in Middle Tennessee, against Middle Tennessee. We're going against a Conference USA contender probably for the conference title. So we got to measure ourselves. I think that we're a little better than the final score. I think we showed that. They hit some shots that we just weren't able to recover from, early in the second half. And we've got to address, obviously, taking care of the basketball. I think some of that comes from inexperience, right? Not playing together. We have two guys really. We have three if you count Nas, but Nas was kind of up and down last year. So we have two guys that have consistently played in this program back, and that's it. And so we're trying to, feel each other out. I felt like, we watched every turnover together as a team yesterday, and, it's like guys should be there. I think they should be there, but they're not there. It's kind of learning each other, and you can't do that in practice. You have to do that in games. And so, I think that we're going to get better from that. We're not hanging our head over it. We don't have time. We have another game, on Tuesday. And so it's get better. It's learn from it and move on, trust the process.
And a big difference in this game was points to the paint. You guys aren't the biggest team. Was that kind of a problem that you saw on Saturday, or?
Yeah, I think it wasn't really the size. I thought we did okay. Our half-court defense, when I'm watching the game back, was pretty good for this time of year. Our defense is kind of chugging along where it should be. The problem is those shots that they get that we can't defend. That's the run-outs and the transition baskets when we turn the ball over. And so, again, I think that, the score changes a little bit if we do a better job taking care of the ball. We've got to force more turnovers than we commit. I think that will happen over time because I really do like where our defense is at. I really do, man. These guys are buying into how we defend. But offensively, we've got to get smoother. I think some of that falls on me. Most of it falls on me. We've got to put these guys in a better situation, to be successful offensively. And so we're going to keep working. We're not changing. We're not panicking. But I think we've got to continue to work on how we're going to get some of those baskets and maybe some of the set actions that we run for specific players. I don't know if it necessarily was the size the other day as much as it was just us not taking care of the basketball.
And looking ahead to McMurry, how cool is it that you're able to get kind of a crosstown matchup going on so early in this season for your guys?
Yeah, I think that the three of us should play every year. You know what I mean? I think it's great for the city. It's great for our student athletes. And the universities. I mean, Pick and I have been doing this for a while now. Almost every year we play. We've had a hard time with Hardin Simmons, not because they don't want to. It's just the schedule hasn't worked out, and so we were very fortunate this year that the schedule could work out. That we're playing both of them. Both of them are really good, and so it's scary, of course. But I think it's great. Neither one of us have to travel. We can play a game, and we don't have to travel. And like I said, I think it's really good for they got some local kids. I know, Hardin Simmons has some local kids. I mean, I think it's great to come over here and to play. And then we can both get better from it. And like I said, get better without having to get on a plane or a bus is pretty important. And so just excited to bring them over here. He always brings, Pick always brings a good team over here. They're well coached, and we're going to have to be prepared and ready to go. We certainly can't turn the ball over because I know that they're really good in transition. And so if we turn the ball over, we're going to be in trouble. So we got to do a better job taking care of it.
Another Texas matchup, so it's a little rarity that both men and women both playing two Texas teams in the same week, and then it's a doubleheader on Saturday as well again. Just talk about how Texas State. Talk about how cool it is to be able to play so many Texas teams kind of early in the season.
Yeah, that was kind of a big focus of mine in putting this schedule together. Didn't really care how good people were. I think sometimes coaches overthink that. I want to be challenged. I think, I could sit here and worry about my record and try to schedule easy, or I can try to make our team better so we're better. We're playing our best basketball in February and March, and that's what we're trying to do. And so it just worked out this year that some of these really good teams are close, and they were willing to play. And so to get Texas State over here, I go way back with the coach at Texas State. We didn't work on the same staff, but we worked for the same people. We have kind of similar philosophies, and so I'm just grateful that he was willing to come here, and start a series here. We'll be returning the series, the game next year at their place. But man, they're really good. They're old, just like Middle Tennessee. They have some experience. Got guys that have played together. Really interested to see can we perform better Saturday? Can we perform better tomorrow versus McMurray than we did on Saturday? And then can we get even better on Saturday? Can we continually kind of slowly get better? Because they're gonna pressure us, they're gonna get after us, and if we don't take care of the ball, man, it could be a long night for us Saturday. So we're gonna have to take care of it. But even cooler, man, Saturday, like you said, it's a doubleheader again. The girls play before us, which is awesome. We always like that. And then really a triple header, man. After our game, the people need to get in the car and they need to drive down to Stephenville because we got a big, ACU's got a big game on Saturday in Stephenville as well that I think means a lot for this university and for KP and his players. So what a great opportunity, man, to watch two basketball games here and then jump in the car and just drive about an hour and a half away and go support our football team as well.
So comparing, the first two games of the season, just looking at some stats, 3-point percentage is like 14% in the game against Middle Tennessee. It was about 23% of the first game. That's probably something you want to improve. You look at rebounding, you guys had 76 rebounds in the first game and then 31 in the second game. Free throw percentage was in the 60s for both games. What are like some of the main things you're really looking to highlight?
I think the shooting is what it is. If Hunter shoots the ball well, we're probably going to look okay there. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't, then we're going to struggle, I think. We've got to find other ways to manufacture points. I just don't think that that's going to be our strong suit this year. We have guys that can hit shots, but we're not going to be, we've had teams here where we can, we know we're going to knock down 11 or 12 threes a night. That's not this team. And we've talked about that. We own that. That's okay. But we need some guys to step up and hit a couple at least. So we do need to get a little better in that category. Free throws, we continually, that's kind of been our Achilles heel for all 13 years I've been here, or 12, however long I've been here, for some reason. I don't know. But I think that we're slowly getting better at that. It's just we've got to, we made more than they shot, so we were okay in that category. That's kind of one of our goals always. But the rebounding, I was a little disappointed in. When we watched film yesterday, that's one of the things we talked about is that, the other night we go set a school record, and then we just think it's going to come, and we had plenty of opportunities on the offensive glass, and we showed them all to them yesterday, like where we just did not attack the glass. Shots were going up, and we were just standing around, and so I don't know what caused that, if it was just kind of a fluke, one-night fluke. I hope so, but we're definitely addressing that, and we're going to have to rebound. That's going to have to be one of our strengths if we're not going to shoot the ball great.
You mentioned numerous times before the season started and still now how it's a process. Talk about that. How we're 2 games in. It's still early on. You played a great game, and Middle Tennessee didn't go your way, but still some good things. Talk about how the guys are kind of seeing it as a process.
Yeah, the beauty of basketball is it's a long season. I think that a lot of people can make mistakes by trying to just after 1 or 2 games, think, this is how we're going to be. That's not the case. Some of the best teams that I've been able to coach in my career have consistently gotten better as the year goes on. And so sometimes that means taking tough losses. You know, we won 25 games a few years ago. We started off 0-2, you know. And honestly, our third one got really lucky. We should have been 0-3, to be honest. And we finished the year, which is what matters, you know. Not even the win total, but we finished in the WAC championship game and in the CBI semifinals. And so I think this team has every bit of talent as much as that team did. It's very similar. Where we're going to have to kind of learn each other and grow as the year begins. But our players know that. We've talked about it since day one in June, knowing that we had so many new faces on this roster that, hey, guys, it's going to be a process, man. And we're going to have to trust each other and just to, you know, continue to get better and use every game. You know, we've chalked up this whole process into different parts, different seasons, I guess you could say. You know, we have the training camp season, which is, you know, 30 practices in 40 days or 42 days, something like that. And then this is the preseason. And we want, you know, I felt like we had a really good training camp. I can't judge our preseason yet. We're only 2 games in, right? And so when our preseason's over, then we have the conference season, and that's the one that really counts. And so we want to continue to get better through this preseason. I've got to figure out lineups. I haven't coached this group before, you know, and so we got to figure out who plays well, who doesn't. You know, I realized yesterday there's some guys that I think can really score the ball that I'm not running any actions for, and it's one of those things you just don't really realize until you start playing games, you know. And so process, man. Trust the process. It sounds like coach speak, but it's something that we really believe in and we talk about on a daily basis.